1 minute for our speaker to get set up, and for Wing, good to see you. And so, if you want to.
How many pounds of copper contained that's copper soluble? We 20% net carried interest, but in aggregate, Columbia will it basically actually still contains gold because the leak, and then start running fluids probably about 6 weeks after startup. I include this slide, so there's an immediate target for exploration. There's also 3 numbers. If we use a 0.4, 0.3 cutoff, we're talking about 12 million. It's a 3-year mine life, and the market cap of the company is 15 million. So it's just creating a leach pad there and piping the fluids over to Luvia. It's a base, and then there's several other zones all referenced in the 43-101. We were able to purchase 3 clay blocks. That zinc from our state, very dry. It's the Altar Desert, so it's a dry, sandy by conquistador in Spanish, and mined at that time. And they're drilling all the way along this shear. Some of the volcanics that created some of this mineralization. But really, what's motivating gold now is currencies, and they reckon might use 50 million pounds of molybdenum against the worldwide demand annually. Sufficient to meet demand, and they're starting new primary molybdenum deposits. It's a very well mineralized country, but it's difficult to do business there. It's uranium right now. Uranium, because uranium is used for energy, and it's
In mines, for example.
well, I'd say that's dependent really. Ever found they got a model of it and all the things. Thing like this, all gold. So it's been a bit of an advantage. Very high in Canadian mines and in Australian mines, but not so in. Well, that's our main project for mining, and we have to be permitted. So we do it on an ongoing basis, and you have to do a lot of design around, and you recover the gold and put the fluid back on the pond.
As far as expanding those, more of the resources, and many people trying to get the same resources, more of can you get the resources for a cheap price.
On the exchange, which are CPCs, capital pool companies.
Bringing in Europe and so on. And these students, the line of their career, their job search and so on. I mean, we want.
They're really junior producing companies like the ones who are just shy of 28 years highs. People are having difficulty trying to determine why they're.
How long does it take from starting to finish, like when you buy a product?
And if your payback is early and fast, if you got some high, the range of capex repayment periods is as quick as 6 months. Imagine the risk is quite different. One guy needs to get $800, $600 million for his work. You can't predict what's going to happen to molybdenum in year 4 or 3 years.
You might go for the equipment that you use for the.
Yeah, we just bought locally contracted from Magdalena. We'll do more. I'm hiring a mining engineer from.
Well, any more questions for Chris? I mean,
The outside. Our stuff here, we're 500,000 ounces, right? Bre-X was supposed to be 200 million